Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is your Govindraj. Today we will talk about this NEEM scheme because recently you have direction from Ministry of Education, Department of Higher Education, which actually directed the AICTE to close the NEEM scheme from 23/12/2022. So that's what is the direction letter everybody has received, and you must have also read in the social media and other internet platforms. And now, if you look at how this NEEM scheme has been being utilized, many of the establishments have heavily dependent on NEEM trainees because this scheme gave a flexibility to the employers. Of course, there are pros and cons, and the employers and NEEM facilitators have also misutilized these provisions, and the spirit of the training is also disregarded. That could be also one of the reason. Now let's look at before I get into what are the challenges and options you have. So let's see very briefly what is this scheme all about it. See, the AICTE using section 23 of AICTE Act 1987, they rolled out this NEEM scheme in 2013 to provide or to enhance the skill of the people to create more employability. And if you look at the AICTE, it has the role to the development of technical and management education in India, and also maintenance of standards for this purpose. And originally this NEEM scheme was rolled out in 2013. It actually offered on-the-job training to students pursuing graduation or diploma in both technical and non-technical streams, and even the dropouts from degree or diploma courses, and the ones who were completed also, they were made eligible to seek training under NEEM. And there is an agent or facilitator who is supposed to engage these NEEM trainees and then depute for on-the-job training in the particular establishment. And originally the training period was set at 3 to 24 months. And the regulation very clearly stipulated that it is not an offer of employment. But there is one important condition, that the NEEM facilitator was supposed to adhere to the National Vocational Education Qualification Framework curriculum for this training, because NVEQF, later it was renamed as NSQF. So they were supposed to adhere to this framework and provide the training as stipulated in this NSQF guidelines. And also as per the scheme, they were kept out of all other statutory contributions, including ESI and PF. This actually made more beneficial to the employers with reference to safety, health and working conditions and working hours. This is as per the policy and applicable legislations. Only the coverage was the workman compensation or employee compensation policy or requirement, which was supposed to be taken care by the NEEM facilitator in case of workplace accidents. And the stipend was set at least minimum wages for unskilled category. This went through an important amendment in 2017. The new regulations came. As per this age criteria was revised to 16 to 40 years instead of 18 to 35 years. All these people under this age gap, they could have been taken as NEEM trainees to create more employability. And this scheme, actually this 2017 regulation liberalized certain things. Even that it allowed taking people who have passed 10th standard, and the training duration was enhanced from 3 months to 36 months. And this is where this NVEQF was renamed as NSQF, and the agent was supposed to be compliant with NSQF for the training. But in 2019, because of the complaints which AICTE received, then he started giving certain directions where it only told you can only engage people who are enrolled for bachelor and above degree, and you cannot engage dropouts or who have SLC and PUC or up to 12th standard. So this was the guideline came. And also those who have live registrations only can continue to engage, otherwise not everyone was supposed to engage NEEM trainees. If you look at what went wrong, see, just to analyze this situation, this NEEM scheme has an objective of creating employability, whereas the NEEM facilitators and many employers have substituted this as form of employment, and they started heavily depending on this NEEM scheme for their regular production needs. So this was not the objective of this NEEM scheme. And also some of the employers have started rerouting this their regular employees through NEEM to avoid statutory contributions or statutory liabilities. And it is also said that the facilitators have not complied the NSQF framework. And if you look at the number of NEEM trainees you can engage, there was no control on that. So you could have practically engaged as many as you want. So that is where I think the complaints went to the AICTE. And meanwhile the EPFO started raising coverage issues, because as per the EPF employee definition, only trainees under Apprentice Act or the trainees under your certified standing orders are only apprentices, and therefore they said NEEM trainees are not apprentices under the Apprentice Act. Because if you look at the origination of NEEM is from a regulation under AICTE Act section 23, and it was a delegated legislation, whereas Apprentice Act 1961 is a statute which was passed by the Parliament. So therefore this started coverage issues by the EPFO. And if you look at ESI Act, there are similar provisions. So the conclusion it came through was NEEM scheme neither is a part of Apprentice Act nor under the standing orders. So therefore these issues started coming up, and when this AICTE and ministry started receiving these complaints, the AICTE submitted revised guidelines to Ministry of Education and also conveyed that it will discontinue the scheme. And finally the Ministry of Education directed the AICTE to discontinue the scheme with effect from 23/12/2022. Now what are the options you have? See, first of all, you have to wait for the AICTE guidelines. In my view, they should allow the trainees who are currently enrolled to complete their period, and they may give you a guidelines to stop hiring fresh trainees under the NEEM. And whoever under your NEEM scheme, you have to look at options of converting into other legitimate apprentice scheme under Apprentice Act, including these NAPs and NATs. And there are other manpower legitimate methods you have to depend on. Now coming back to EPF and ESI claims in the future, of course, when the EPFO says that they are not apprentices, this issue or liability you may have in the future. However, I see there is a way out to overcome from this situation. And in case you want to talk to me the way out, you are so that we can engage into a discussion. And there may be certain union issues, because if there is a large scale exploitation, some of the unions may take up these issues also. And if you look at for you, there are other options like NAPs and NATs, which I already talked about it. And you can also look at outsourcing or job work. All these methods you can ideally use it and arrive at your own ideal manpower mix. But every option, there are pros and cons. So the only solution is to have an ideal manpower mix where you can use the best of best and balance these situations. Thank you friends for watching this video. I will come back to you in the next video with more information. If you like this information and if it is useful to you, please do subscribe this channel and also share this information to your friends. And in the future videos, I will come back with new information. See you soon. Until then, friends.